The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating these terrifying flight incidents, as well as a series of close calls on the runway. For more on this, I'm joined by the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, Jennifer Homendy. Thank you so much for being with us. We've seen a string of close calls on between U.S. airlines at runways. What's your assessment of what's happening here?
Yeah, runway incursions have been an issue that the NTSB has tracked for a long time. It's been an issue in aviation for a long time. Our concern is that typically there are maybe 18 of the highest risk events in the U.S. annually, and we're investigating 6 within just a 3-month time frame. So that's a lot for us to investigate. But we're going to pursue our investigations and figure out what's occurring out there.
There was a book that influenced me a few years ago called Meltdown, and its argument essentially was that in addition to all the normal reasons you might have accidents, that the increased complexity of systems, that the more complex life became, the more that invited certain kinds of failures. Is that the kind of thing you look at in a situation like this where, as you said, there seem to be a lot of these clustered close together?
Yes. The NTSB takes a very broad look when we conduct our investigations, everything from the aircraft that are involved, air traffic control, flight crew, the environment in which they're operating, whether it's has complex issues at that airport, and also weather. Weather is an important factor, and we'll also look at the role of technology. If you recall the JFK incident, the ASDX system notified air traffic control that there was an impending collision on the runway, and they were able to stop the Delta crew from proceeding because of that technology. So we do have technology available that can help prevent some of these.
Acting FAA Administrator Billy Nolan testified Wednesday and said there will be a major safety meeting that will include industry officials. And he said that they will be asked hard questions. In your mind, what are the hard questions to ask here, either about the runway incursions or some of the clear air turbulence issue? There was the 2 planes that collided in Florida. All of this air-related activity, are there hard questions that you're focused on?
Sure, and every one of these issues is different, so it's you can't compare one to the other. Turbulence itself is the most frequent accident in aviation that the NTSB investigates because of serious injuries or fatality. And on runway incursions in particular, we held a forum in 2017 where there were over 1,300 annually. In 2022, we see that there are over 1,600. So runway incursions are going up. We have some questions about that. After we identified some shortcomings in 2017. So we want to know what's been going on since that time.
Now, if I may, I'd like to turn to the Ohio train derailment in East Palestine. You have served as staff in the past as staff director of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials. Given that experience, is there a crucial fix that you think needs to be made that's both either related to what happened in East Palestine or just more broadly, given your experience in this very specific area?
Well, I can definitely tell you what would not be something that would prevent it from reoccurring. For the NTSB, it's very early on in the investigation, and we're very focused on 5 investigations right now that we're conducting on Norfolk Southern. In addition, we opened a special investigation yesterday focused on Norfolk Southern's organization and safety culture. Where we will do a deep dive into management practices, policies, decision-making, and really look at their safety culture, including staffing. But it is too early to tell. There are definitely some issues with wayside detectors, with the temperature thresholds that are set, all of which vary by railroad. So those are something we are looking at. But what we look at is what conditions were present that allowed that accident to occur, or that failure of the wheel bearing at that time. What led up to that? That's what we really are digging into to see what should prevent it from reoccurring in the future.
And as you mentioned earlier, if there is anything that needs to be immediately released as a result of your preliminary findings, that would be something the NTSB would mention if there was some kind of immediate danger that you could issue a warning about.
Absolutely. If we see something of an urgent safety issue, even if it's Norfolk Southern or if it's industry-wide, we are going to issue an urgent safety recommendation. We don't wait. We want to see action, and that's a strong possibility. And in addition to that, we are going to have a pretty rare investigative hearing in East Palestine in around the June timeframe.
Jennifer Homendy, chairwoman of the NTSB, thank you.
Thank you.